I think I got a rockfish, I'm not sure. Let's see what I got here is color. There we go, little rockfish. Hi, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Sport Fishing. Well, today we're back in Alaska here at Cove Lodge for part 2 of our exciting adventure up here. We're starting off catching rockfish. We're gonna be looking for salmon, halibut. If we get really lucky, maybe a lingcod or 2. So stay tuned for this week's very special episode of Sport Fishing. I'm Dan Hernandez and I live to fish.
All right.
I have been fishing along the Pacific coast my entire life.
Oh!
Let me bring you in the action and share with you some great fishing tips along the way.
Yeah, I mean, that was so good.
Getting a bite right now. Just gonna put it in gear, wind down. Dropped it. You get, when the fish drops the bait like that out here, just put it back in free spool. Lots of times we got schools of them here. So I'm just dropping it back down and then just work it back up through it. There he is right there. He's back. There's kelp right there. I might have kelp too. It's not shaking, unless it's a little rockfish. I have a little rockfish. What do I have? Ooh, nice rockfish. Oh. No, you were on the kelp. I got a rockfish. Here's my little black rockfish. These are super delicious. Nice quality fish. So we have a double going on. Jack's got a fish there. I got a fish. I think we both got rockfish here. We'll see what they are. We've been getting a mix of vermilions and these black rockfish and occasional lingcod. What do you got there, Jack? I got a black. Oh, no, you got the wrong kind. Oh, that one's okay. We gotta release it? Okay. It's another protected one. So here's Jack's fish. It's a protected rockfish. And this is mine, the black one. Black rockfish, we've been catching lots of these. We've been having Chef Joe turn these into appetizers for us. See if we can get another one. Not even a halibut. I think Joey's got a good one. Just lift up and wind on the way down. There he is. Little one. Go back down, gotta get one for John. Yep. Color. Halibut. Little one.
First place. Woo! Wow. Oh.
Color.
Wow.
Need one more halibut, guys.
Yes, sir. We're good. This is a let's go back. There's one in there.
Oh. Where? Well, we just made another move, and this is the first decent weather we've had on this adventure up here in Alaska. I was here last year, and we just had that perfect weather where 3 days of fishing, never needed a raincoat, didn't put any rain gear on. And of course, this year it's the normal Alaska where you have rain and seas and everything. So we're at another spot right here on shore. We're right out here is the open ocean. We're on the outside of the open ocean, and we're gonna try to stick out here as long as the weather stays nice and see if we can get some salmon now. We worked hard offshore, and we got those halibut and got a nice ling cut out there. So now we're gonna see if we can get lucky and work the coastline here. And finally, we got some decent weather, see some blue sky, and see if we can catch us some salmon. But let's take a little break from the action here. I want to give you guys a good in-depth look at Cove Lodge. It's a beautiful resort here in Craig, Alaska, and I want you guys to see it. And if you're ever thinking about coming to Alaska, check this place out. Let's go take a look. Congratulations, big link cod. So when you come to Alaska, there's a couple of techniques, and it's not only just in Alaska, but even in California, you go to the Bay Area and they fish for salmon. There's a couple of different techniques for salmon fishing. In the Bay Area, they like to use a trolling method where you use a release clip with the big sinker. You get bit, release clip drops off the sinker, and then you fight the fish. Another way that they fish up there on the private boats is with downriggers. And here in Alaska, some of the lodges like to use downriggers to troll for the salmon. What we're doing here at Shelter Cove is called mooching. So it's kind of drifting, except they have a little outboard engine to control the drift and to drive us. And what we do by mooching is we go down to the bottom, we hit the bottom, and then we slowly work our bait back. And the way the herring bait's cut, it's gonna spin. It's gonna make little circles, and those little circles are what attract the salmon. So what we do is just work it back. And the majority of the salmon this time of year are really close to the bottom. So what we normally do is go all the way down the bottom, hit the bottom, and then we slowly crank up like this, work it up to about 50 feet, 60 feet, then stop it, and then go back down. Most of the spots we've been fishing are over 100 feet deep. A couple of spots been in the 80s, and that's what I'm doing right here. Just dropping it back down, and then work it straight up and down. Now to keep a salmon, it's gotta be 28 inches. And if you get a short one, they call them shakers, because your captain's just gonna take it off the hook. Joey, I got one. Hopefully it's a king salmon. I don't know, it might be a halibut, we'll see. The weather's really cleared up, it's nice and sunny. Don't have to wear all the rain gear. You should be up on the surface here. There's my sinker. It's not a salmon, it's a halibut. Halibut, and he's gone. Yep, we let him go. We already got limits of halibut. All right, I put another bait out. I'm gonna try it again. Just beautiful conditions right now. It hasn't been like this the last day and a half, so take advantage of this weather and see if we can get us some salmon. And watch the way our captain puts the bait on here. This is a special technique.
This is called a cut plug. You notice how I've got it cut at an angle right there. You pull the guts out. The top hook's gonna go right through there. It's gonna go in, the bottom hook's gonna go through the trailer cavity, out through the side, and then up the trail. So there's a couple of other different ways that you can do it, but that's a nice, easy way to do it.
Thank you, Cap. Drop it down, hit the bottom, and then slowly wind it up. That's mooching. This week in the gallery, we're back here at Shelter Cove Lodge. Standing next to me is Chef Joe. And Chef, you've been kind enough to cook for us today. What do you have in store for us?
Today we are going to do some fresh halibut. We're going to herb crust the halibut. I'm going to start with salt. Start with salt with everything. We'll do a little pepper. I'm going to hit it with a little flour, with egg, and then my herb breadcrumbs. We grow all our herbs out on the porch, and we also have access to a couple greenhouses here in town. You can only imagine how much herbs cost in Alaska. Got a hot pan, cold grease. You gotta get the pan hot to make the grease hot. You can't cook with cold grease.
Is there a certain type of oil that you like to cook with?
I like to cook with what's known as 80-20. It's 80% vegetable oil with 20% olive oil.
Okay.
I like the burn temperature of that.
Yeah, because olive oil burns
right,
too
olive
fast.
oil burns too fast. I'm going to hit the back side of this with a little bit more salt, so both sides taste good.
Now, is this just going to be fully cooked in the pan, or does this go in the oven too?
This will go in the oven too.
Okay.
This will be a rather fast cook. That is a thin piece of halibut. Looking for that nice crusty right there.
So the pan's just to give it the crust and color?
That's right. And then I'm going to finish this in the oven. Have a little bit of asparagus, and we're going to go with some. These are called smashed fried potatoes.
So Chef, this halibut that you're cooking up is one I caught earlier today. Is this something that any of the guests can have done, that they can have a piece of their catch brought in here?
Our guests can have whatever they want.
Okay, that's good.
If they want their food, we are more than happy to accommodate. I want you to eat the fish that you caught. That, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's super
really
fresh
doesn't.
and it goes a little bit primal. Like you
Yeah.
caught it, you want to enjoy it. That's cool.
Hunter-gatherer, right?
Yep, that's why we're here.
Don't forget the salt again. This with a little of our basil oil. We're going to pull this fish out of the oven. I would say that was probably about a 4-minute cook. Asparagus here for us. Some more basil oil.
What's that there, Chef?
This is basil oil. I took extra virgin olive oil, a giant clump of basil. I macerated it in a machine, and then separated it out with a chinois, a fine mesh china cap. Then I have some balsamic reduction here. I reduced balsamic oil with sugar. Dinner served, man.
Thanks, Chef. That was really quick. That was only like 4 minutes.
Right.
All right, I have to taste this. Oh, look at that. It's already crunchy on the top there.
Right. That's going to give you your contrasting texture.
Wow. That is so good. Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome.
Chef Joe, thank you very much for
You're
cooking
welcome.
for us.
Pleasure.
Anytime you come here to Shelter Cove Lodge, have a meal from Chef Joe here. Does a great job. And you can do like we did today, have your catch actually cooked here besides all the great food that he makes here too.
We want you to have 4 meals here
For dinner.
for dinner.
All right, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing. We have an audience. We got like 6 boats came in because Joey had one on, lost it. Let's see what I got here. It's not a halibut. I mean, it's not a salmon. It's a halibut. We already got a bunch of these. Can't keep any more of these for today. If we were at home, we'd be happy with this one. All right, put another bait on, try it again. For this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit how we caught the fish today. We got a big variety of fish. They all came on that cut herring, fishing it down the bottom. It was just lots of fun. You know, coming to Alaska, it's a real adventure. It's lots of fun, beautiful scenery. We see whales, eagles, otters, just all kinds of wildlife. And the fishing's lots of fun too. You may not get that dream fish that you're going after, but you're gonna catch lots of fish and it's a lot of fun. Well, I wanna thank Captain Brian, the whole staff here at Shelter Cove Lodge. They did a great job. Thank you, Dave, for inviting me for this trip. And it was just lots of fun. Well, I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing, and I hope you join us again next week as we go looking for more of the best in sport fishing.